welcome back to Little Mama's Schoolhouse. Today I wanted to take you on a homeschool room tour and share our homeschool space with you. So first off, I just want to make it perfectly clear that you do not need a designated homeschool area to be successful in homeschooling. You can do it at the kitchen table, on the couch, you can have a designated room, you can do just about anything and still be successful. So in our previous home, we had a designated room as a homeschool space. However, when we moved, we didn't have an extra room to be able to take advantage of that. And so I was able to convert half of our family room into our homeschool area. So one half is our family room, and you will see that we don't have furniture yet. We just moved in a couple months ago, and so we are still waiting on that. But the other half is our homeschool area. And it's worked really well. I like having just a space that is designated that we can kind of keep all of our supplies in one spot. But again, you will see that I use closets throughout the home to store our things in. For example, I will share where we kind of keep our arts and crafts. And that's just because we keep it in our office and we have a lock on that door. So that way we don't have our toddler or my 4-year-old constantly in and out of the art supplies. Anyways, so you'll just kind of see what works for us in this season, and I hope that it inspires you, and thanks for being here. So here is our school area. As you can see, we still have our furniture coming for our family room side, and apparently it's Lego day. But we just use this side for our schooling room setup. This is where my second and my first grader sit. The desks and the chairs are just from IKEA. And then up here, I have this little art hanging thing. I don't really know what it's called. Anyways, another homeschool mom shared this on her Instagram, and I loved it so much that I had my dad build me one. And it's just a good place to just hang projects, to display them, and as well if they painted something to let them dry. So anyways, it's one of my favorite things. Okay, so these desks are awesome. They're good size. And then inside, I just keep their math manipulatives. You can see like her little books that go with her language arts unit, as well as their phonics cards, and other little projects. She has her handwriting in there. So there's that. My second grader, similar, just math manipulatives, phonics cards, and just like little projects and just different things. Okay, so these big cube shelves are from IKEA. I love it. You can see we have our globe up there. Okay, so up here, I just keep like our religious books. And then these are just kind of our little guidebooks, gardening, foraging, stars, just different things. Down here, so this is kind of where I keep most of like our art kind of crafty things. So scrapbooking, sewing, the drawing books, creative arts book, art appreciation, social skills. This is kind of just my stuff that I keep. These are extra folders. These are like the papers that I will keep forever. So like if they worked really hard on a writing project, I just keep it in this little file folder. And then in this little basket, we have thinking putty, and I love this stuff, so do my kids. And then I just have various games, so, you know, there's just a couple of just different games and different things like that. There is my binding machine, and then in here, I just have some paper, and a little 3D puzzle that we will eventually do once we get to marine biology. Down here, this is all my spirals for my binding machine, extra menus for our morning menus, and then just like sheet protectors and just different things like that. And then in the second one, again, this I just kind of put extra supplies, so like erasers, hole puncher, pencils, what is that? Oh, this stuff goes to the rock tumbling kit, you know, just random things. And then I have all the extra grit and stuff behind. If it will focus, it won't, but behind there for our rock tumbling kit, the pointer finger. Okay, and then I have all of our poetry books. I also just kept Aesop's Fables because it just works really well on that shelf. And then these are just books in Japanese. And then a candle. This is my favorite thing to do, like on a Sunday night as I'm prepping for the week ahead. I like to light a candle. It just, just feels nice. Pencil sharpener, stapler. I think this is more spirals, for our binding machine. Down here is just random stuff from around the house that I didn't have anywhere to put it, so I just put it there. And then we have our microscope, our Good and the Beautiful library that is slowly growing. And then I keep our science books that we have used, that we are using, and that I plan on using in the near future. So again, just our science materials there. In here, I keep our laminator, CD player, a little paper slicer, more laminating sheets. Down here, these are extra binders, extra composition notebooks. We have a butterfly thing, extra supplies, dice, music cards, money for our school store, different things like that. And then up here, I actually have tapes to go with it. And so they have books on tape. I love these. They're just amazing character traits to listen to on story. These were mine when I was little, and I love them. In here, we just have clothespins and then extra little games. I think this is like the flower study game, Treehouse Town, the speech game, musical multiplication, and then I just have an extra math book up there. We keep our diffuser here along with a picture of our Savior to remember why we are doing this. And then down here, I pull out the books that my kids are going to be reading for that school year. So for my pre-K, I just pulled all these books that she will be working on for this school year. And then I have all the level 1 books from the Good and the Beautiful here that my first grader will be working on. And here are just, again, this is just extra supplies. Eventually, I could use this bin for something else. In the meantime, it just kind of has some notebooks, coloring books, stuff for my pre-K daughter and my toddler to work on while we do school. In here, just extra curriculum that we aren't currently using in there. Okay, so up here is kind of my pretty books. These are just like my box collection books that I keep up here. Kind of just one of those things that are pretty to look at. And then here is our social studies and history books. So you can see what we have here. Some really good books. I just like to keep things kind of close together. So if I need them or if I just need my children, to do some social studies, I can just come grab a book off the shelf. I like these level 1, I can read books. Again, so we just kind of keep those there. This is for my second grader. Again, most of these are the Good and the Beautiful. We do have the Christian Liberty nature readers as well. And then just some chapter books that I want her to be reading this year. Down here is just flashcards. So I have a plain plastic sleeve type thing. And then these little magnet things that I got from the Target dollar spot. Again, this is just fun for my toddler and my pre-K-er. But just little flashcards. These are prayer cards that I will sometimes have them do copy work from. And then again, just kind of random things, a hand, for our body unit once we get there. Okay, so this is where I keep all of our science. I just put all of the little spirals. So I spiral bind the units, and then I just make all the books, everything, and then I just throw them in these. So I have all those because I know I'm going to be using these again once my toddler and my pre-K are older. So anyways, so that is the cubes. Okay, so over here I just have a bulletin board for our science wall. And then I will go into these carts more in depth later on. But this is the schoolwork that they work on independently. I keep in this cart. Okay, over here is where I actually keep my toddler. This is an idea I just had. I just bought this from IKEA. They're really inexpensive, and it's just to be used to keep my busy 2-year-old in while we do school. So I like that it can still reach the desk, so she can still work on things, but she's kind of strapped in so she's not destroying my house. So anyway, so this is where my pre-K and my toddler sit while we do some school. And then over here is just our bookcase. So I will add that we just do most of our independent studies down here. Our family style units we do together upstairs at our kitchen table. So this is just our linen closet upstairs. This is where I keep all the games. There's like magnet tiles in that basket. And we just keep our games and our puzzles and everything up here. You can see that there's a bunch of games missing. They've been having a lot of fun having game nights downstairs. So again, that's where we kind of store those materials. And then finally in our office is where we keep all of our arts and crafts. I used to keep it in that cube thing that I showed you, but with a toddler and a 4-year-old that were constantly getting into paints, this worked easier because the office has a lock on it, and so I'm just able to lock the door and keep them out when they need to be out. But we just have, just Play-Doh, arts and crafts. I have jewelry making things, and then just nicer high-end arts and craft supplies in there. And then we just keep all of our paper and our 3-hole punch and things there. And then over here we have our little school store, as you can kind of see. I will go maybe more into detail about this later on. We've used this store for a couple of years, but I'm feeling like it needs a little tweaking. So we're going to kind of tweak it up to make it work better for our family. But I will be sharing more details about this later on. And you can just see that there's like air dry clay in there, glue. So just the things, again, that I just don't want them just getting into all the time. So